Hi, I'm Dr. Steve G. Jones, and welcome to the Alchemy of Hypnotapping Wealth Program, Module 2. In this module, we're going to do a session on confidence for wealth creation, and I'm going to use the beach induction. The induction, as you recall from Module 1, happens in Part 3, where we're just creating a relaxing scenario. So we'll be using the beach for this to relax you into hypnosis. Now, with these modules, modules 2 through 7, these are hypno-tapping modules in which you will be in a state of hypnosis. So you want to make sure you're only watching or listening to these modules while you're not doing anything else. You're not driving a car, you're not even in a car, you're not riding a bike, you're not walking around, you're just sitting or lying down with nothing to do when you know that no one's going to disturb you throughout the length of this recording. So for this module, we're going to work on confidence. So what I want you to do is find some aspect of yourself that is negative concerning confidence. So for example, we're working on confidence, so perhaps the negative feeling is embarrassment or vulnerability. You'll want something ideally from the Dr. Steve 5, but it doesn't have to be from the Dr. Steve 5. It can be anything that's the opposite of confidence for you that you've been struggling with to some degree. Don't make up something that you haven't been struggling with, but tap into something that you have had a challenge with to some degree and get a number associated with it, because that's what we're going to work on now as we go through this hypnotapping module. We're going to work on confidence. And so in order to do that, we need to have you tapped into what's been slowing down your confidence. So whether it's a feeling of vulnerability or feelings of embarrassment or anger or sadness or whatever it may be for you that's been working against your confidence, spend time and get in touch with that. If you have to pause this, that's fine, but I really want you to get in touch with what that emotion is that's been working against your confidence. That's what you'll need to have before you begin working with this technology. So as you'll recall from Module 1, the first part of working with someone the first time is the pre-talk, and I'm going to skip that since you now understand hypnosis and tapping from Module 1. And the next step is the assessment. Now, here I need you to find something from the Dr. Steve 5 that you want to work on, a feeling, preferably from that list, from SAVED. If not, you can use your own emotion that's not on that list, or perhaps, as I've said in Module 1, you just have a feeling that you are not expressing in words, and that's fine as long as you're in tune with that feeling. Also, you want to assess it. That's step 2. So you want to assess that feeling on a scale from 0 to 10. 0 meaning no pain at all, meaning you wouldn't even need to do a session, to 10 meaning it's so intense that you really don't even want to talk about it. It's just so painful, or somewhere in between. So use this scale on yourself now to assess the feeling that you have. Give yourself a number from 0 to 10 for that feeling and write this down. Remember that the change can be so profound that you may not be able to get in touch with the negative feeling afterwards, and you may have difficulty even believing that you ever had that feeling at that intensity. So if you need to pause to get that feeling and figure out the intensity of it, feel free. But we're going to continue now. My understanding, if you're still watching or listening, is that you've prepared yourself for a hypnosis session, meaning you're sitting or lying down without anything else to do. You're not in a moving vehicle. You're not doing anything other than sitting or lying down and listening to my voice and or watching me. And we're going to start with the induction. As I've mentioned, it's going to be about 5 minutes long, and it's going to be a beach induction. I'm going to have you imagine yourself walking along the beach, and I'll point out some of the important features of this. You'll want to involve all of the senses. The reason you do that is to make it as real as possible. When you imagine something and you imagine it with all of your senses, it's very similar to actually being there. So you should be able to experience the relaxation of walking on the beach with all of your senses and feel the actual relaxation of it. And what allows that is involvement of your senses. sight, sound, smell, taste, if that's appropriate, and anything else, the feeling of the breeze on your body. You're going to notice I incorporate all of that into this. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. And I'd like you now to either keep your eyes open or closed. It's up to you, whichever makes you feel more comfortable. I prefer to close my eyes when I'm going into hypnosis, but it's your choice. I'd like you now to imagine yourself on a beautiful beach, and this is your beach on your island. You're safe and at ease, and you're just walking on the sand, and you can feel the sun on your skin. And between the breeze blowing on your body and the sun up above, the temperature is just right. And this allows you to relax as you walk down toward the water. And you can see a few white wispy clouds in the distance, and you can hear a few birds in the distance. And you are so relaxed and peaceful as you walk slowly toward the water, relaxing and unwinding. It feels as though every step you take allows you to relax even more and just enter into this world in your imagination, this world of being on the beach and enjoying this wonderful, amazing, peaceful, beautiful day as you just continue walking and unwinding, feeling the warm sand beneath your feet, feeling that gentle breeze, smelling that salty air, involving all of your senses now in this wonderful experience of being on the beach and just enjoying yourself. As you now reach the edge of the water, you feel the water rolling in and just touching the tips of your toes. Then it rolls back out again, rolls in again, covering your feet this time. You are so at ease, feeling the water. The water is a perfect temperature for you. You turn and walk along the edge of the water now, feeling it beneath your feet, feeling the wet sand, how good that feels as your feet sink into the sand a little bit with each step you take. And you can feel all the muscles in your legs relaxing as you continue walking and unwinding and feeling wonderful, listening to the waves roll in and out, seeing the blue and green of the waves and the white caps as the waves roll in gently and roll back out again. This allows you to relax more and more as you go, as you unwind, as you walk, and just focus on enjoying yourself, feeling that breeze, hearing the birds in the distance, smelling the salty air. It seems as if every step you take relaxes you even more. And now, as you continue relaxing, I would like you to open your eyes, if they're not already open, because now it's time to do the deepening. And to do the deepening, I would like you to watch me. If you've done this before, then you can just keep your eyes closed if you know the steps, if you know where to tap on your body. I'd like you to imagine yourself sitting on the beach, looking out over the horizon. You're going to be tapping different parts of your body, 9 different parts of your body. And as you do this, you're going to relax more deeply with each part that you tap. And with each part that you tap, you're going to explore a different aspect of the feeling that you're focusing on. You're going to explore a different aspect of it. So as I count from 10 to 1, you will relax more deeply, and you will explore different aspects of the feeling, and you will go more deeply into hypnosis as you relax. Starting with the number 10, and the sun begins to sink on the horizon as you sit on the beach and just relax and watch it. You focus on one aspect of the negative feeling. There's nowhere to tap for the number 10. You just relax and focus on one aspect of the negative feeling. 9, the sun sinks a little lower now as you tap on the top of your head and relax more deeply. 8, tapping on your inner eyebrow now on either side with either hand or both. As you relax more deeply and focus on another aspect of the negative feeling, and as the sun sinks a little lower now. 7, tapping on the outside of your eye now as you relax more deeply and focus on a different aspect of the negative feeling. 6, tapping under your eye now, relaxing, either one or both eyes. It's your choice. Focusing on another aspect of the negative feeling. 5, tapping right below your nose and above your mouth as you focus on another aspect of the negative feeling and notice the sun sinking lower and you relaxing more deeply. 4, tapping under your lip now, right above your chin, below your lip, right here. Tapping as you focus on another aspect of the negative feeling and the sun sinks lower and you relax more deeply. 3, tapping on your collarbone now, either side, as you relax more deeply and focus on another aspect of the negative feeling and notice the sun sinking a little lower. 2, tapping under your arm now, just somewhere around here under your arm, either side, as you focus on another aspect of the negative feeling and notice the sun sinking lower and you relax more deeply. And then 1, tapping the karate chop point, which is just the side of your hand on either side, doesn't matter which side, as the sun sets on the horizon and you relax completely. And now, as you relax, you're going to move into finger tapping. And with finger tapping, you're tapping from the thumb to the pinky, focusing on the negative feeling again, focusing on it as you tap with one finger or two. Focusing on the negative feeling as I'm tapping on my thumb, focusing on it as I'm tapping on my index finger, focusing on it as I'm tapping on my middle finger, and then tapping on my ring finger, focusing on the negative feeling, tapping on my pinky as I focus on the negative feeling, just allowing yourself to focus on that negative feeling now as you tap each of these parts of your body. Now we move into the script, and in the script we are focused on positive suggestions for change. So I'd like you now to imagine that you're looking at a wall, and on that wall you see written the negative labels that have slowed you down in the past. Those negative labels that have failed to reflect how wonderful and amazing and powerful you are. See all those negative words on that wall right now. And as you see those words, realize that you are letting them go. I'd like you now to imagine that wall crumbling. That wall that's full of all those negative words about you, negative words that you have thought about yourself or that others have said. That wall full of those negative words is crumbling now, crumbling right before your eyes. And behind that wall, you see another wall that's made of solid stone. That's a permanent wall. The wall that's crumbling is only temporary. And on that permanent stone wall, you now take a chisel and you chisel positive words on that wall about yourself. You chisel the word confident. Go ahead and chisel that word now on the wall. Confident. That's right. You're able to do this quickly and easily. You now chisel the word powerful on that wall. These words describe you. These words describe who you really are. Confident and powerful. And now I'd like you to chisel other words on that wall, other good, positive words that describe you and how confident and powerful you are. You can generate these words now from your mind and chisel them on the wall permanently. Good, positive, powerful words about yourself. You can do this now as I continue talking. And as you add those words to that wall, you realize they are permanent. They are a permanent part of you, of who you are, of who you have decided to become. You are very confident and very powerful. You also have the other positive qualities that you are chiseling on that wall permanently now. And as you finish this up quickly and easily, you stand back and look at those words that describe you. Confident, positive, and all of the other amazing words that describe you. Realize that you can go back and add more words at any time you choose, because this is your mind, and you can do what you want in your mind. Now I'd like you to imagine yourself 6 months in the future, having let go of negativity, having embraced the new confident you, having lived for 6 months in your new power. You've accomplished so much. As you stand in the future now and look back on the past, you see how much you have accomplished in 6 months by embracing how confident you are. And because you are confident, you realize that the rest of your life will be much easier now, because you will be able to glide through it more smoothly, more efficiently, with greater happiness, because you have let go of the negativity surrounding a lack of confidence. And I'd like you now to focus on how confident you are and realize that you have all the confidence necessary to generate the amount of wealth that you would like to generate in your life. You understand now that you are a magnet for wealth, and this increases your confidence even more. And now imagine yourself coming back into the present with all of those powerful feelings that you realize you will be experiencing 6 months from now and for the rest of your life. Your life will just get better and better as you move more into confidence. And now you're going to do the 9 gamut while focused on the negative feeling. So I want you to focus on the opposite of confidence, whatever your word or feeling is. Perhaps it's just a feeling and you don't have a word for it, that's fine, but focus on the opposite of confidence, the word that you focused on or the feeling you focused on when you began this session. And you'll do each procedure for approximately 5 seconds. And you'll do this while tapping on the gamut point. Remember, the gamut point is between the ring finger and the index finger on either hand, about an inch down. You just tap there as you focus on that negative feeling, anger, or whatever it may be. Again, we're interrupting the pattern. So as you tap the gamut point, I want you to close your eyes for 5 seconds. Open your eyes for 5 seconds as you tap the gamut point. While keeping your head still, look down and to the right. While keeping your head still, look down and to the left. Tapping the gamut point the whole time. And focused on the negative feeling the whole time. You'll roll your eyes in a clockwise motion while focused on the negative feeling and tapping the gamut point. Roll your eyes in a counterclockwise direction while tapping the gamut point and thinking of the negative feeling. You'll hum any song for 5 seconds. You'll count to 5 out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now hum a different song for 5 seconds. Good. And now you can stop tapping and relax. Now we're going to move into trance termination. I'm going to bring you back up out of hypnosis to the count of 3. By the time I reach that final number, you'll be wide awake and completely out of hypnosis, ready for a wonderful day and a powerful life. 1, coming up, feeling very good. 2, beginning to move, beginning to stir, becoming very aware of your surroundings, very aware of where you are. At the count of the next number, you'll be wide awake and completely out of hypnosis. All right, now, 3, eyes open, wide awake, and completely out of hypnosis. Now that you're out of hypnosis, you're moving into the reassessment. Go ahead and write down your new number from 0 to 10. After you do that, you can look at what you originally wrote down, your number from 0 to 10. You should notice that your new number is lower. In other words, you're feeling less pain now associated with that emotion. It's more challenging to get back to that state. So to get your number again, what you want to do is attempt to get back to that negative state. So if it's anger, attempt to get back to that angry state. See if you can. And rate how angry you're able to feel on a scale from 0 to 10. It can be very challenging to get back to that same level, and that's the idea. Now, if you want to do this again, you can, if you want to get a lower number, but we have completed the procedure. We've completed all of the steps, so that completes this hypnotapping session. And you'll want to make sure that you spend at least a half an hour of just making sure that you're fully conscious before you do anything that requires your full attention, such as operating a motor vehicle, for example, or riding a bike, or doing anything else that requires your attention. Make sure you're fully back to full awakening consciousness. And I'd like you to join me in Module 3, because in Module 3, we're going to discuss and do a session on motivation for wealth as you work your way through the Alchemy for Hypnotapping Wealth program. I'm Dr. Steve G. Jones, hoping you have an outstanding day.